Hi guys and welcome to Fandom Newbie. My name is Shruti and today we're doing another book haul. Now I have been collecting, cannot. I have been collecting all of these books from December, I think. So it's been a couple of, okay, everything is falling apart. So yeah, it's been a few months that I've been collecting these books. I bought a lot of them specifically for videos that you guys are going to be seeing on this channel over the next few weeks. So yeah, I can't wait to show you guys these books and also to film all of those videos because I'm really excited for all of the content that I have planned on this channel. So I hope you guys have subscribed and I hope you guys are as excited for fresh new videos here on Fandom Newbie. Okay, anyway, now I will shut up and let's just jump into the video. So the first one that I want to talk about is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I've already started reading this one, but this one has been on my TBR for the longest time and I'm so happy that I'm finally reading it. The only thing that I'm a bit disappointed is that this is actually a pirated copy. I never had to worry about like getting pirated copies when I was in Singapore, but here in Indonesia, I live in Jakarta now, here there's an issue with pirated copies even when you buy it off of official websites, and this one unfortunately I spent $20 for and it's a pirated copy, so I'm a bit pissed about that. This is a fairy tale retelling. It's a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin, and I honestly don't know so much about Rumpelstiltskin, like the story. I just know it very vaguely, but like Naomi Novik, I feel has completely turned that story upside down. But what I'm really loving about this book is how it is super whimsical, it is fantastical, and I haven't read fantasy in a really long time, so it just feels really good to dive back into a world filled with magic and kings and princesses and just a whole lot of whimsy. The next book is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. This book actually, I saw Joey's video from Jyotsna's Bookscapades where Piranesi won the Women's Prize for fiction and she like freaked out and she was so happy, and just watching that video actually made me buy this book because like she was so excited for Piranesi to win. So yeah, I went and got it because of that. This book is a Greek mythology retelling of, I'm guessing, this character named Piranesi. I honestly don't know much about this book. I just know that it's based on Greek mythology and I love mythological fiction books, and I've heard Susanna Clarke's writing is absolutely beautiful. So yep, waiting to read this one. The next two books are Never Let Me Go and Clara and the Sun, both by Kazuo Ishiguro. Now last year I read Remains of the Day by Kazuo Ishiguro and I fell in love with his writing. He is such an amazing storyteller and I love the characters that he built in that story, and so I really want to read more by Ishiguro, and so I bought two books which were super hyped. This one released last year and this I think is like a science fiction kind of book. It's about, I think, like an artificial intelligence robot and how this artificial intelligence robot kind of perceives humans and the world. And I just thought that's a really interesting premise, especially because I feel like even if it's like an alien or any other species looking at humanity, I feel gives authors a chance to really explore various themes about humans and about behavior and about psychology, and I'm hoping that that's what this book does. And Never Let Me Go is one of Ishiguro's initial books, or his first book, I don't know, I'm not really sure. But this also, I believe, has a science fiction element to it, but it basically revolves around three friends, I think, who went to school together and what happens when they meet many years later. I'm really excited to read Kazuo Ishiguro's writing again because yeah, he's just a phenomenal author. After that, the next two books that I want to talk about are ABC Murders and The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. Now it's right here. I recently read Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie, and I've made an entire video trying to solve this murder mystery. I'll link it up here if you guys want to check it out. And after reading Death on the Nile, I wanted to read more Agatha Christie, and so these two books were really highly rated on Goodreads. This one is supposed to be one of Poirot's most gritty and like dark like murder mysteries, and The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, I've heard, like really blows your mind at the end, like you just cannot guess the ending. So I'm really excited to dive into these. If you guys have watched me trying to solve Death on the Nile and you really liked that video and you'd like me to attempt solving these two books as well, let me know in the comments, because I didn't get a lot of views for the Death on the Nile videos, so I don't know if I should make more of them or not. But if you really enjoyed that video, then I might make a video for these two books, because I enjoyed trying to solve the Agatha Christie mystery. So definitely let me know if you want me to solve these mysteries as well. The next one is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This has been on my TBR for such a long time. This is basically an Asian retelling of Romeo and Juliet, and it just seems very interesting. I love Shakespeare retellings, and this one just seems very interesting because it gives this like Asian touch to it, and it's set in Shanghai, which I think is very interesting. So yeah, very excited to read this book. The next one is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Okay, so a little bit of a story about this book. Basically, last year in August, I think, I reached out to my booktube friends. Basically, Smriti, Joey, Meera, Sonali, and I have a WhatsApp group, and I reached out to them telling them that I want them to recommend to me the saddest books that they have read, because I wanted to read books that would make me cry, because at that point, like, there was no book that was making me feel anything or like making me sob or like, you know, making me cry hysterically, and I wanted some books that would make me cry. And I reached out to them last August, and they have sent me videos recommending books to me, which I was gonna put and compile in a video of like the saddest books ever or something like that. And one of them recommended by Jyotsna was A Little Life. And then after that, I saw a Clockwork Readers, like Hannah's TikTok, where she's just bawling hysterically after reading this book. And I'm gonna be honest, that scared me. Like, that terrified me. And since last August, I have just been putting off making this video of reading really sad books, because like, I'm scared. I'm scared to read this book and the other books that have been recommended to me by my friends, because I don't know what to expect. And please don't tell me, like, if you've read A Little Life, don't tell me anything about this book in the comments. I don't want to know. I've read the trigger warnings for this book, so I know, like, I know a little bit of what I can expect, but I don't want to know anything else about this book, so don't tell me anything. But I feel like the time has come now for me to do that video and read all those sad books, and one of them is going to be A Little Life, so you can stay tuned for that video. But yeah, I'm a little bit terrified of this book, and I'm also terrified, like, one major fear that I have, and this is ridiculous, but like, I feel like, what if I don't cry? I know I will, because like every other human being on this planet has cried while reading this book. But I'm just like, if every other human being has cried while reading this book and I don't cry, then is there something wrong with me? And that's a genuine fear that I have. But anyway, yeah, A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Video coming up sometime in the future. The next one that I want to talk about is Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuzner. I was attracted to this book only because of the cover. The cover is just absolutely beautiful, and I honestly don't know anything about this book. I think it's like a retelling of The Nutcracker, if I'm not mistaken, but I was just attracted to the cover. And it seems again like a really atmospheric, wintry, fantastical fantasy story, and I am waiting to dive into this. The next book is The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. Now, a few days ago, or like a week ago or something, I put up a post on my community tab asking you guys what books, like what novels you guys read in school, because I never read any novels in school. We only had like extracts from different novels. But a lot of you said The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, and I actually want to make a video where I read some of these books that you guys read in school. So The Diary of a Young Girl was one of them, and so I bought it because I'm excited to read this. I've read this book in parts. Like, I haven't read the whole thing in a stretch. Like, I've read, I want to say like 50% of this book, but I've read it like as a beach me types. So I just want to like sit down and read this book completely because yeah, it's supposed to be one of like those like classic literature kind of books. So the next 3 books that I got were the Arc of a Cythe trilogy. Now, this has been a trilogy that I have been wanting to read for the longest time. Again, I honestly don't know that much about it. I just know that it's like a science fiction fantasy trilogy, but so many booktubers have said so many good things about this book. And then one of my cousins also like messaged me and said that you have to read this trilogy. It's such an amazing fantasy series. So I'm really excited to dive in. Like I said, I really don't know much about it, but yeah, it just seems super interesting. Like, I don't know, it just seems very interesting. This guy, I don't know why, but has always reminded me a little bit of Lord Voldemort. I don't know why, but yeah, seems like a very interesting science fiction fantasy series that I cannot wait to start reading. The next one is Mr. Fox by Helen Oyeyemi. Honestly, I can't remember why I bought it. I bought this when I was still in Singapore, and I believe it was because like, I don't know if I watched it in like a booktube video or I read somewhere this is one of the strangest books ever written. Like, it's supposed to be super duper confusing, but very beautifully written. This book explores a lot of themes. Like, there's a murder mystery involved in this. There is like love and infatuation and lust and imagination and just like a whole bunch of crazy things happen in this book is what I've heard. So I'm very intrigued. The next book is The Warden by Anthony Trollope. Now, this was a gift by a very good friend back in Singapore, and this book is basically set in a small English town in the 1800s, like in the English countryside, and it's about a scandal that happens in that town and how like the different aspects of society, so whether it's the church, whether it's like the media and the national press, and also the police and the law, how these 3 like aspects of society, how they deal with that particular scandal that happens. Honestly, I love any story that is set in like 1800s English countryside. I love those kind of books. I'm very excited to read this one as well. And the last few books are in this package, so I'm now going to try to open this. Hey, and I got a bookmark. Okay. I have no idea how to open this. I'm destroying this package. There we go. You see what I'm doing? You know what? I should have got a scissor to do this. But okay. I did it! The first book in this package is The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. I won't talk a lot about these books because I've got them specifically for a video that you guys will see soon. The next one is Whereabouts by Jhumpa Lahiri. I've been wanting to read this book for so long. The next one is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. And the last one is Beasts and Beauty by Soman Chainani. This one I think has like illustrations and stuff inside. I'll open this up and show you guys, but I'm really excited to read this one. This is again like fairy tale retellings, and I think like once I open it up, you guys will see it's supposed to be a really beautiful book inside as well. So I'm excited to read this one. So yeah, those were all the books that I have accumulated since December of last year. But like I said, a lot of these books I bought specifically for videos that you guys will see. So stay tuned for all of those. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big fat thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments some of the new books that you have bought. And yeah, do subscribe to my channel for more book related videos like this. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.